By reporter Owen Holdaway, who's in Baghdad. Owen, thanks for joining us. I believe the situation's quietened down somewhat now. Can you describe the day's events in Kirkuk?
Yeah, I mean, since Haider al-Abadi announced the operation to retake Kirkuk, the Iraqi Ninth and ISOF, backed by the Hashd-e-Shaabi, the Shia militias, moved up along Khalid Bridge and took the surrounding oil fields and the refinery and the police station by the early hours of the morning. They then moved on to the K1 military air base and took that. By late afternoon, ISOF and the Diyala Brigade, the ISOF, the Iraqi Special Operations Forces, entered the city and recaptured the governor's office. There were reports of a lot of Kurdish fighters fleeing, as your report said. The Prime Minister in Baghdad has now appointed a new Iraqi governor. There were reports of a few deaths, but essentially it seemed like a very minor sort of operation in terms of death toll. And it's actually very surprising about how quickly the Peshmerga forces actually withdrew from the area.
Now, Owen, a representative for the Kurds in Kirkuk has described this development as tantamount to a declaration of war. Do you think that's justified?
I mean, I think there's a lot of soul searching at the moment going on, particularly amongst the PDK, which is the largest party in Kurdistan. The fact of their massive withdrawal and the swift collapse of their forces within the area, they're currently blaming a lot of it. The PDK, this is Barzani's party, on the PUK. So I think there's a lot of internal strife that is likely to come across in the next coming days. As for there's a lot of rhetoric also coming out from the PDK. And the fact that this is a declaration of war. But that being said, militarily, the ISOF divisions are vastly, have much more better equipment than the Peshmerga or anything. So it's very unlikely that they'll be able to retake Kirkuk. Additionally, the international community, the US in particular, has been very neutral on what's happened. So I think it's very unlikely that there will be any sort of massive retribution from the Peshmerga forces, being the fact that they are very divided at the moment, and the international community does seem not behind them, being after the divisive referendum that they had on the 25th of September.
Thank you very much, Owen Holdaway, reporting there from Iraq.